Hi guys, welcome back to second part of the Hexacopter building series. In my previous video, I have shown how you can make your own Hexacopter frame under 250 rupees. In this second part, we'll be assembling all the components on it and configure the flight controller. So quickly, we'll see what are the components we need. We need 6,000 kV brushless motors, 3 pairs of 1045 propellers, 6 30 ampere ESCs, power distribution board, APM2.8 flight controller, GPS module. Here I am using 7M. Transmitter and receiver, you can go with any brand, but I am using FlySky FS i6 6 channel, 11.1 volt LiPo battery, and finally a frame which I have already made. I am mounting all the motors using 3mm 1.5 inch bolt and nuts. In order to power all the ESCs together, we have to connect them to this power distribution board. We'll place this power distribution board at the center and mount all the arms back. If you consider a hexacopter frame design, there will be two types, X and other will be the plus shape. In my case, it is X shaped, and this will be the forward direction. So I am placing this APM board with arrow indicating to forward direction. Similarly, in the GPS also, the arrow should point towards the forward direction. At the motor side, the center wire of the ESC should be connected to yellow wire of the motor. Other two wires you can connect in any of the direction, but based on the direction of rotation we can change them later. Similarly, repeat the same for all other 5 motors. As I told before about two frame designs, the motor layout between these two also varies. Since I have X design, I'll be following this motor layout. So this will be 1. So this ESC connectors should be connected to output 1 of APM board. And while connecting this ESC, you should make sure the signal pin, that is white color, should be at the top, and ground, the black, should be at the bottom. This second motor should be connected to output 2. This is motor 3 connected to output 3. This is motor number 4. This 5th. And this one is the 6th motor. So for the input connections, we need a receiver. To control the drone, we need 4 channels, but if you want to access the flight modes, you need another 2 channels. So I'll be using all 6 channels. In the receiver, the pin at the top is a signal pin and at the bottom is the ground. So you have to make sure at the input side also the signal pin comes at the top. Only at the first channel we'll be connecting all 3 pins to power the receiver, and for rest of the 5 channels we'll be connecting just the signal pins. We can directly connect from 1 to 6. This GPS module has 2 connectors, one for GPS and other for compass. So in my APM board, it already has an inbuilt compass. So I'll be making use of just the GPS connector. In case if your board doesn't have a compass and if you face any issue while compass calibration, you can use this external compass. You have to also connect the second connector. So this directly goes to the GPS port. We are done with all the connections. Now it's time for the APM configuration. First we have to install a mission planner software in the computer. So the download link is provided in the description box. Connect your board with the computer. Also make sure your system has an internet connection. Open Device Manager. In the ports, check the COM port of your APM board. Then open Mission Planner. In my case it's COM3. Just select the port and don't click on connect. First we have to install the firmware. Go to initial setup, install firmware. Click on this Hexacopter. If your board is compatible with the latest firmware, it automatically starts downloading, but in my case it's showing error. So if you get this error, just click on pick previous firmware. So it updates with the previous firmware version. Now again click on this Hexacopter. You have to give yes here and OK. So your firmware starts downloading here and you can see the progress. Once it's done, you have to click on this connect. Go to mandatory hardware. In the frame type, if your frame is X or Y shaped, then you have to go with this second option. In the axle calibration, you have to follow each and every instruction that is shown on the screen. Click on this calibrate axle. First, vehicle should be on the level and click enter. Tilt your frame towards left side and press enter. Now to the right side. Nose down means the front side should face downwards. For nose up, your front motor should face upwards. And at last, place your vehicle on its back. And finally, it shows calibration successful. Now to calibrate the level, place your vehicle on a flat surface and click on this button. Next is the compass calibration. So here all are in default settings. So enable compass is already selected and it's in inbuilt compass. So if you face any issues in the compass calibration, you have to connect the external compass that comes with a GPS and you have to enable this second option. Now click on live calibration. It is asking us to move the vehicle in all the direction. So you have to keep rotating your drone in all the directions so that more points get connected. Many people face issue with this compass calibration, so there will be no dots appearing here. If you face the same issue, you can refer to a solution video that is available in the description box. Once you are done, click OK. And you can able to see the calibrated points here. Next is the radio calibration. If you are not using GPS module, then you can directly calibrate 4 channels to control the drone. But if you want to change the flight modes, you have to make some necessary settings on your transmitter. So before calibrating radio, make sure to do those settings. Even that video link is also available in description box. Click on calibrate radio and we have to just take all the sticks to minimum and maximum position. And also same with the switches. And after doing, click on done. There's nothing to do with the servo output, and ESC calibration will be not doing here. We'll do it using other method without the software. Next option is the flight modes. So this will be enabled only if you are using GPS module. So using switch C and D, you will be able to access 6 flight modes. You can just select according to your requirements. After selecting, you have to just click on the save modes. So by changing switch C and D, These flight modes are changing now. So this is how I can navigate to different flight modes using switch C and D. In the fail-safe option, you can set the low battery voltage. So when the battery reaches to that, the drone automatically lands. So that also you can set accordingly. So that's it, we are done with the mandatory configuration. After doing all the steps, just disconnect it. There are two steps which we have to follow for calibrating ESCs. One is the individual ESC calibration, and second is ESC calibration using the flight controller. So we'll start with the first step. For this, we have to remove all the connections from the receiver. We have to select individual ESC and connect it to a third channel of the receiver. So I have taken first ESC. Switch on the transmitter and keep the throttle stick to its maximum position. Power your ESC. Wait for 5 seconds. Bring back the throttle to its minimum position. Wait for 5 seconds and disconnect the battery. Now I am removing this and taking the second ESC. So repeat the same for all the ESCs. After doing this individual ESC calibration, connect back all the ESCs as before to the APM board. To perform the ESC calibration using the flight controller, first switch on the transmitter and keep the throttle stick to maximum. Connect the battery. Wait for 5 seconds. Remove the battery. And again connect back. After waiting 5 seconds, bring back the throttle stick to minimum position. Wait for 5 seconds and disconnect the battery. So after doing this, your ESCs are calibrated. Now you can connect the power supply back and try to arm. To arm your drone, you have to take this rudder stick towards right side. Once it arms, all motors start rotating. Now everything is completed. You have to mount the propellers. Before that, we have to make sure the motors are rotating in proper direction. Again, you have to consider the layout according to your frame design. So here CW stands for clockwise, CCW stands for anti-clockwise. So if any of your motors are not rotating in correct direction, you have to exchange the red and black wire. Similarly, check for all the motors. In a pair of propeller, one will be for clockwise, on which there is a capital letter R written, and the other one is for counterclockwise motor. Instead of directly attaching the propellers on motors, you can select the proper washer from the provided set. In order to prevent the vibration, make sure all the propellers are fixed properly. Finally, our hexacopter ready. So we'll take it to a ground and see how it works. I hope this video was useful, guys, and for all the components list you can check out the links in the description box. If you have any doubts, just leave a comment. For more videos you can subscribe to us and also follow us on Instagram. Also, we have made crazy experiments using a quadcopter. If you are interested, you can get the link in the description. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again in the next one.